Welcome back. We want to take you now to Philadelphia, where the NTSB is giving an update on that deadly plane crash. Let's listen.
To Northeast Philadelphia Airport, and I really want to thank the U.S. Park Service because it was a very quick call and request by us, and not only did they fly me here, but they also spent some time giving me an aerial view of the accident site. That support extends to federal, state, and local officials here in the Philadelphia area, and I want to start by really thanking Mayor Parker and her entire staff. We did go over to Unified Command and met with her, met with the two chief deputy mayors and her staff, and I really want to thank her for her extending resources to us and for the unity that's here to get to the bottom of what occurred. I also want to thank the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, who has been very engaged not only at DCA with that accident investigation, but here in Philadelphia, and the FAA Acting Administrator, Chris Rochelot. I also want to thank Governor Shapiro, Senator Fetterman, Senator McCormick, Congressman Boyle, Philadelphia Office of Emergency Management, Philadelphia Managing Director's Office, Philadelphia Fire Department, Philadelphia Police Department, Philadelphia Department of Licenses and Inspections, Philadelphia Streets Department, PICO, Philadelphia Gas Works, Philadelphia Department of Public Health, Philadelphia Department of Aviation, the School District of Philadelphia, Philadelphia Parks and Recreation, Philadelphia Commerce Department, Delaware Valley Intelligence Center, Free Library of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, the Pennsylvania State Police, the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, the FBI, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the Federal Aviation Administration, the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and the Fraternal Order of Police. As you can see from this very long list, there is substantial support for this investigation. Now I'm going to turn it over to Ralph Hicks for a few minutes to talk about the flight, and then I will return to talk about the crash itself.
Thank you, Chairman. So a little bit about the flight itself. The flight originated at Opelika, Florida, yesterday afternoon about 12 p.m. The aircraft arrived at Northeast Philadelphia Airport around 2:15 p.m. in the afternoon. It was on the ground for a few hours and departed runway 24 at about 6:06 p.m. And it was, like we said, it was dark at the time and instrument conditions. The aircraft climbed to about 1,500 feet above the ground. We were looking at GPS data on the aircraft, a slight right turn followed by a slight left turn, and then a steep descent towards the ground where it crashed. The entire flight lasted less than a minute.
So I want to stress this was a high-impact crash, and the plane is highly fragmented. There is a substantial impact on the entire community. The debris field extends 4 or 5 blocks. And I do want to stress that this is an active investigation scene. The debris is scattered. It is very dangerous. And so I encourage everyone to stay out of the accident site. It's very dangerous. You'll see over the next several days, possibly extending into weeks, where we will be collecting that debris, loading it onto a truck, and moving it to a secure location so that we can begin to do our evaluation of that debris. Now, I do want to mention we are still looking for the cockpit voice recorder. We have located the 2 engines, but for the cockpit voice recorder, we're still looking for it. It could be intact, but likely it is damaged. It may be fragmented. So if there are citizens or business owners or others who find debris, please email the NTSB at witness@ntsb.gov. That's witness@ntsb.gov. Now, I'm sure I will get questions about having two major accident investigations at one time. We are a highly skilled agency. It is not unusual for the NTSB to be investigating two major accidents. We have tremendous resources at both, and we will get to our findings, our probable cause, and our recommendations, and to a final investigative report. With that, I'm going to take questions. I will ask that you raise your hand, that you give me your name and your affiliation. Sir.
Brian Sheehan, NBC 10 here in Philadelphia. Are you classifying this as an accident at this point?
The question is, are we classifying this as an accident? Yes, we are.
Ray Strickland, CBS News Philadelphia. The IIC referenced the slight turn left and right before they crashed a minute after taking off. Does that suggest anything to you guys early on?
The question is the path, the track of the plane, that it moved a little to the right, moved a little to the left. It doesn't really suggest anything right now. We just wanted to provide that information for you. Certainly we'll evaluate information as we continue on with our investigation. Right now, our focus is on collecting the perishable evidence, and that is the debris and what we need to take in order to conduct our investigation. Yes.
Mills Hayes with News Nation. Are you guys aware of any debris or anything falling from the plane before it went down?
The question is, are we aware of any debris or anything falling from the plane before it went down? We are not aware of that. However, certainly videos are always welcome by others who have taken them. We've seen a number of them online, but please, if you'd like to send those also to witness@ntsb.gov. Here and then here.
Ellen Guojo, Fox 29 Local, Philadelphia. How helpful have neighbors or business owners been in this investigation? Have you talked to a lot of them?
The question is, how helpful have neighbors and business owners been so far in this investigation? So today is our first full day for us as part of this investigation. Certainly our other partners here have been speaking with businesses and residents, but not at this time. We may eventually. Yeah. Here and then here.
Brianna Smith at 6 ABC. Earlier today, city leaders mentioned that there was a remote area with debris where something happened with the aircraft. So can you elaborate on that?
The question is on a comment that was made earlier about a remote area and something happening with the aircraft. I haven't seen that comment, so at this time I can't comment on it, but at our next press briefing we'll evaluate it. Yes.
Jennifer, Jonathan Kersley from Channel 9 Australia. You touched on it briefly before. You're dealing with two major accidents.
You've been listening to the chair of the NTSB. If she looks familiar to you, that is because she's been on TV for the better part of a couple days covering that crash in Washington, D.C. between the Black Hawk and the airliner. Now she's in Philadelphia. This plane that crash landed in the middle of northeast Philadelphia. The NTSB is now on the scene. She flew from D.C. to Philadelphia. This is very preliminary, but they did tell us that the plane climbed to about 1,500 feet, made a slight right turn, slight left turn, then plummeted right into the middle of this neighborhood. The priority for the NTSB right now is looking for and collecting the cockpit voice recorder. That is going to be so crucial to their investigation. And because this plane came down, for lack of a better terminology, like a missile into the middle of this neighborhood, and everything just exploded. Cars were on fire, houses were on fire. It may be damaged. So she is asking all the people in the area of this crash, Roosevelt Mall right there in northeast Philadelphia, to stay away from all this debris. Not only could it be dangerous, but also they desperately need to find the cockpit voice recorder.